All right, welcome everyone to the Fortified podcast, where today our guest is Ricardo Ruiz. Ricardo's a big part of this whole podcast, why it got started, and being able to help put it together so we could actually turn it into a real podcast instead of a discussion. Ricardo is a retired U.S. Army veteran, cybersecurity professional, entrepreneur, and mentor, originally from, is it Juncos or Juncos?
Juncos, yeah.
Juncos,
Yes,
Puerto Rico. He was raised in a humble working-class family. Ricardo learned discipline and perseverance from an early age through the example of his hardworking parents. After joining the Army in the early 2000s, he served across multiple duty stations, including Iraq and Afghanistan, eventually retiring in 2018 after a distinguished military career focused heavily on leadership, mentorship, and developing soldiers. While serving, Ricardo earned 2 master's degrees, 11 IT certifications, and 4 PMI project management certifications. Following his retirement, he transitioned into high-level engineering and leadership roles supporting major defense contractors, including Mantech, General Dynamics, Raytheon, and Lockheed Martin. Today, he is the founder of Mission Project Cyber, LLC, and Tactical Claims AI, which is a platform dedicated to helping veterans better navigate the VA claims process through education and technology. He's also the co-producer of the Fortified podcast, where he shares conversations centered on resilience, leadership, entrepreneurship, and personal growth. So welcome, and thank you for doing this show today.
Thank you, Dustin. Thank you.
I've been kind of excited about this one.
Yeah.
For me to learn more about you, so that's going to be interesting for me and the listeners to find out your life story. So
Wow.
I think what I'd like to do is start from the beginning and tell us about where you were born and your family and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So, Dustin, thank you for the introduction. I really appreciate that. So, born and raised in, like you mentioned, in Juncos, Puerto Rico. I was actually born in a place called Caguas, a very small regional hospital. My mom was in labor for like 12, 14 hours, as she mentioned to me a couple of times. Yes, Noemi Carrasquillo is my mom, and Nicomedes Ruiz is my father. My father is from Comerío, so another place in the West Coast. My mom is from Gurabo and Juncos, more on the East Coast. They met very young, at a very young age, and then a year and a half after that, they had me. So, so what was life for me growing up in Puerto Rico? It was very simple, very peaceful, very stress-free, family-oriented, very conservative beliefs. And now, as an adult, I look back and I'm like, okay, I get my conservative views from my family, not just my father and my mother, but my grandfather, my great-grandfather, which they were very good roles in my life. I'm going to put a picture so you guys can see it. So this picture right here that you guys are seeing is from my 12th grade graduation. And the lady next to me is Paula Carrion, and my great-great-grandmother. And then the gentleman is my great-great-grandfather, Juan Gonzalez Carrion.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was... They gave us, not just me, they gave us everything. People say because I am the oldest of the grandkids, they did have a little bit of preference with me, and I believe it. Yes, they did. So,
So how many siblings?
I have one brother.
One brother.
Gabriel. He is a general contractor in Philadelphia. He has a son, Julian, who is in 3rd grade, going to 4th grade now. And he's married to Kimberly. She works at Parkplex, I believe, Casino. She's one of the managers, the whole thing. So they're doing pretty good over there. So, yeah, very, very, very very good. That he left the island and went to Philadelphia and met Kimberly and started a new life over there. So super happy. Back to my upbringing, the life that I'm now more comfortable now.
Yeah.
So back to my upbringings, it was everything was based either on sports, like basketball was a big NBA, David Robinson back then fan. My parents were very heavy on me having good grades, so throughout my whole civilian school, first grade to 12th grade, I was very focused on school. I wasn't the best, but I was like an A, B, student. It was very interesting growing up, not being in the upper or medium class. We were in the very, very bottom of the spectrum when it comes to our finances. I mean, so many things happened when I was in Puerto Rico. So many things. I have lots of stories that either from just living in the island to the people that I met, along the way, the lessons that I learned by making mistakes or gambling. Don't gamble, Rick. I don't. So what you like to know?
Tell us some of those stories from when you were young, being in the lower class in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
What kind of stories or did you experience by that?
So I will say that having friends with parents that have money to send them to school, or I remember I used to receive. My mom used to give me like 50 cents or maybe 75 cents Monday to Friday to go to school so I can have like a drink and something else. But that wasn't every day. So I used to save that money and kind of put it together. So on Fridays I can go to the pizzeria and get a slice of pizza. That was like my reward. Driving to school on the school bus, it was a project because, if your parents are not dropping you off, people know why you're driving on the school bus. So it was humble, but at the same time, it prepared me for to see life the way that I see it now.
Did you recognize that when you were little, that you didn't have as much money as the other kids? It's like maybe sometimes kids they're just used to that life. They don't know anything different.
Yeah, so when I was living through it, I wasn't too concerned. I knew about it. I knew about our financial situation. I knew that we were poor. Mm-hmm. Our house until my 6th grade, until we have a big Hurricane Hugo. I don't know if you guys know about that. So Hurricane Hugo destroyed Puerto Rico, and we used to live in a house that was probably a little bit larger than this ring. Just a little bit larger. Yes. I think it was 2 rooms, 1 room here, 1 room over there, living room, kitchen, and then on the bottom, you have a door to go outside, front door, outside, back door. There was a latrine. It was it's a septic tank with a toilet and a little shower. There was a heater, electric heater on that shower. Love it. One of the things that I remember is that I used to, when I was taking showers, I used to drink water out of the shower because it was hot. I don't know. It was one of the things that, as a kid, I used to do. Just enjoy that.
Like a little treat of warm water.
Yeah. So until that moment, until the hurricane, we live in those conditions, and then FEMA, of course, the hurricane destroyed the house. And FEMA, through the federal support that they provided to the island, my parents were able to get some money from that and build a bigger house. They're still living in the house. A good story is that during the Hurricane Hugo, we were in the house. We were my dad wanted to go through the storm in that house. And then it got to, I would say, 12 o'clock at midnight or 1 o'clock at midnight. It was dark. It was raining. It was crazy. That my parents took myself and my brother out of the house, and they took us to our great-grandfather's house. And then they were just desperate because they were like crying because they thought that we were dead because of the whole situation.
Did your grandfather's house get destroyed too? Or?
No, they have a big house, and
further inside the island, or
yes. He was big into moonshine. Back then, in Puerto Rico, they call it pitorro, which is some type of liquor. It was illegal to sell, and that's how he make his wealth. Let's say he was a businessman, and we were fortunate, or at least my mom, her siblings are telling me that they were the first ones to have a phone in the neighborhood, and a TV, and also a radio. Back then on the
that's big time
50s, yeah, that was big time.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh wow, I can't believe that, So I went a couple of years back to Puerto Rico, and then I have we've been losing family members left and right, due to age or illness or COVID, whatever the case. And then I was like, hey, we need to make a video. Let's get all together, let's start. And then we did it like three shots, It was very, very, very good that I did that, because now I have memories of people that are past that since then, that I can look back and say, oh, she was having such a great time. So, yeah.
I think that's interesting. A lot of people don't have the history of their own family, and everything going digital now. I've got some old photos of when I was little, my little sister in the orange shag carpet or the green shag carpet. But now, if you don't have it printed, you don't have their phone, or, we're going to miss out on some good memories from old family members. So you close with your brother?
We're close. We talk at least once a week.
How far apart are you in age?
So I think I am 5 years older than him.
Okay. 5 years, yeah. And so was there ever a time you were thinking that I've got to do something with my life to make more money, or you wanted to change something from not being wealthy and being poor when you were a little kid, or did that ever even cross your mind?
I think that the turning point in my life was having my daughter Jean. Once I have Jean, my priorities change. I did have William, but William is my stepson, and fatherhood didn't hit me 100%. I was like halfway there, but I wasn't there. Yeah. But once I have my daughter, my wife is looking at me for resources, and she's looking at me for answers to difficult situations and what we're gonna do. And so I went to the recruiting station in Caguas, and I met this recruiter, and he told me, hey, let's go. Yeah, if you have no issues with drugs or nothing like that, you're a pretty healthy guy, you don't have to lose too much weight to join the military. Let's take a test. And I failed miserable because
failed the test?
Yeah, it was in English. Oh. So I didn't. I spoke, and I have some stories. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. It was crazy. So I failed the test, and he told me, "Hey, there's nothing I can do for you. You weren't able to get you with a waiver." So I was like zero.
How old were you then?
I was 22, I think. 22. Yeah, 22.
Okay.
Then, but he did tell me, he said to me, hey, there's a book that you can buy, and then you can probably study if you can, help somebody to help you learning a little bit of English, do your best. Then I forget about it. I forgot about the situation, and then one day I'm in Pueblo Extra. It's a supermarket like Kroger's or any other supermarket, and they have a magazine section. In the magazine section, as I'm looking at cars, some skateboards, I saw the ASVAB book, which is the aptitude test to join any military branch. And then I saw it was $20. And then I was like, $20, damn. But I ended up buying it, and I think me growing up, my parents forcing me to be a good student helped me when I got that book to apply myself to the text, and then to the material and I started watching movies in English with subs in Spanish, and I was like putting one-on-one. I didn't have an instructor or a teacher, but with the English comprehension that I had at that moment and what I was able to gather, I went again. I think a month and a half after the purchasing the book, and then the guy told me we have to go to MEPS right now. It was a Friday. It was a bad day. It was dark. It was bad. And then I took the test. They had the test in a computer. So I went over there, took the test, boom, 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 boom. Before I know it, he's looking at me, he's smiling. There's people speaking English to me. I got no idea what they're saying. But they say you can choose whatever job, because it was in the army. You can choose any MOS that you want. You know, you biz the test. You got like 125 score. And I was like, still like, I wasn't comprehending what they were saying to me. Before I knew it, I was in the physician room, and they're telling me, drop your pants, cough, bend over. February 23rd, you're shipping to Fort Jackson. I was like, where do I sign? You know? So it was a very abstract experience, and it happened so fast. I don't remember signing papers. I don't remember nothing because they were speaking English. I think it got blurred into my mind.
No thought process of you're going to leave your wife, kids. Now you got to go to Fort Jackson.
And then I chose my first job in the army was finance specialist. I'm like, what is this? You know, why not like infantry or mechanic or some of the things that I used to do?
Yeah.
When I was in Puerto Rico, most of my adult life, I work at a Gulf gas station. And then, when you work in this type of environments, you deal with a lot of different people from all backgrounds.
Sure.
And there were so much drugs around, so much hustle and gangs, and I was like in the middle. I'm just the guy at the gas station. So I was like, God damn it. So I say that I'm lucky that I made it through it because you never know. Well,
Didn't go down the other path of drugs and crime to survive, have a better life.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a crazy experience. Just have that.
So 22 enlisted, boot camp, all that good fun stuff. That was my favorite part of the military is boot camp. But so started in finance. Did you stay in finance the whole time, or did it shift into another job?
Yes, I have 3 different jobs when I was in the military. So first I went to Fort Jackson. Fort Jackson was very good. Basic training. Let's get to the basic training.
Yeah.
So First Sergeant Fraser. Wow, First Sergeant Fraser. Short guy, tough. I have 2 drill sergeants. I can't recall their names, but I know the first sergeant's name. We went to the range, and then I'm still going through with everybody. There were 50-some people in my platoon in basic training, and during the range week, they put me in a foxhole, of course, to shoot, and then shooting at targets. And then I see one of my drill sergeants screaming at me. I don't know. She was probably saying, "Hey, why are you not shooting at the target?" She's probably messing with me.
Yeah.
But when I saw her talking to me, I started walking towards her, and then I was using what we call muscle awareness, right? But even though I have my rifle pointing up, there's people on the foxholes. So if I get to point the rifle down, they have the authority to shoot me because they can and kill me because I was threatening their life. I was a threat to them. So she starts screaming and running to me, and then as she started running to me, I started running to her. And the whole thing was like, I don't know what she was saying to me. I was like, and then I was smiling, having fun. Jesus Christ. So they deemed me a safety risk during basic training. And then they assigned me a different a different battle buddy. I used to be a battle buddy with PFC Bullard. That was the first guy. And then they assigned me to another guy. His name was Khan Arsalan. He was, I think he was from Pakistan. He was also going to be a finance soldier, and we were going to be together in AIT.
And that was all due to the language barrier.
Just to the language barrier.
Wow. People don't think about that, but, one wrong split second because you didn't understand what someone said could get you killed.
Easy.
Yeah. Fast. Yeah. Wow.
So what happened? I talked to the first sergeant. I had my translator there with me, and then we went through the remaining of basic training. I ended up scoring very high on the marksmanship on the M16 range, 40 out of 40, and then I used to be a very fast guy, so maxed my PT test. So got 300 my PT test. And then at the end of the basic training, I was a private E1. They promote me in front of everybody to PV2, which to me is like the world, but everybody's like looking at me like, this is the guy who was walking with their rifle at the range about killing people. Yeah. So I don't know how they came with that decision, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Wow. So graduate boot camp.
We graduated boot camp, went to AIT with Ken, my battle buddy, and during AIT, Sergeant Major Rosen came from USARPAC, United States Army Pacific Region, and he said to the group, there were 4 out selected to either go to Hawaii or Alaska, and he's saying, hey, it's between you two. I got one to Alaska, one to Hawaii, and then Roger, Sergeant Major. And Ken told me, hey, I am from the Middle East. And he said to me, I cannot go to Alaska because I will die. And then I believe in him. I took it literally.
Die because of the temperature?
Because of the temperature. He told me, yeah, I'm from the desert. If I go there, I will die. And I'm looking at him like, okay, so I will do that favor. You help me out so much. I will go there so you don't die. And then down the road, of course, we have conversations after the fact. I'm like, man, you fooled me, bro. Why you did me so dirty? But yeah, he went to Hawaii, went to Alaska. I went to the 267 Finance Detachment. I was assigned as a travel NCOIC. By this time, I'm like now an E4. And the job was very easy. It was very, you process paperwork. You're a paying officer. Pretty much you're dealing with money all the time. But during that time, we went to Iraq and the 117 and the 25th Light Infantry Division that we supported. We did their finance for them, and then every month they were sending 4 bodies back. Then me as a travel agent, I have to process their travel and their debt gratuity payments, the money that they receive, the family receive. And then that didn't sit too well with me. Start getting a little bit of stress, even though I wasn't deployed back then. That affected me so much.
Basically, you're sending money to the families of the soldiers that were killed.
Yeah, and they come to your office, and then they're sobbing, they're suffering. Some of them, they're coming with a new husband. Jesus Christ, it was tough.
Her husband died, and now.
Yeah,
so you were an officer already at this point?
No, I'm still enlisted.
Still enlisted. Yes. So you hadn't started college yet?
Not yet. No.
Not yet. Okay.
No.
Yeah, that would kind of wear on you, knowing that.
Yeah.
There's death every day, but people don't think about it because it's not in front of them. Yeah, it's pretty. Just had an 8th grader pass away in our neighborhood night before last in an ATV accident, and it hits home really quick and fast. We never know what tomorrow's going to bring us. So you start having probably some mental issues or things happening or thoughts and feelings when you were dealing with that?
Oh, yes, 100%. So when you are working in Fort Wainwright, the base is very small. Everybody knows each other. We have one gym. Everybody goes to the gym. We go one chow hall, a DFAC, where we eat breakfast and lunch, and everybody goes there. It's easier than going out off post. So, the bodies that they were sending back or the notes, because before they send the service member back home, they don't send it to Fort Wayne, right? They send them to where they're going to be laid to rest. So there's a lot of preparation that personnel and finance do, and the mortuary affairs guys. So that took a toll on me. It was terrible. It was terrible. No, being so connected to the reality of war is it's tough.
And that's back when Iraq was going on?
Iraq, yes.
That was Iraq.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
Wow. So how many soldiers do you think you had to close their file?
Probably 60, 70.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot.
That's
a lot. Yeah. After 3, you stop counting because you know the next is coming, and then you get another notice or another letter saying, hey, next one is coming, or you're like, wow. So, yeah.
So what was next?
So after that, I went to Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Well, I went to Fort Eustis. I changed my job to transportation. I became a 25 Quebec, and then now I am in the logistic world. I am shipping containers across country. I'm shipping. I'm loading boats with cranes. We are driving heavy equipment, trucks, heads. Then we deploy to Iraq with the Fortified ICTC, which was inland cargo transfer company. Wow, and yeah, so yes, that was tough. Going to Iraq, now by this time I am an NCO, an uncommissioned officer, and then I have 11 guys assigned to me, so now I have to look for their safety and the welfare, not just to them, but their family members as well.
Right.
And I need to make sure that they go downrange and they come back. And I was lucky enough in this deployment not to lose anyone. So we were in Camp Anaconda. I don't know if you heard about that one.
No.
So Anaconda in Iraq is between MSR Tampa and Jacqueline. Is a very hot spot. We get getting rocket attacks every single day. We were working. My actual place of work was at the stereo yard. It's an area where everything that goes into my area of operations is supposed to be ready to be loaded into either a C5, C-130, or a Chinook to be deployed to another base or outpost, or anything from HESCO barriers to food to money, because we have to send money to different locations to pay for whatever damages most of the time.
Sure.
Yeah, and we were in a Iraqi bunker for helicopters, and that bunker, of course, they know the location, and of course they attack in that bunker. But it was made out of concrete, so we can you hear the commotion, the rocket hit, and then it was tough. 15 months. So
Do you ever wonder if that one of those would finally get you?
I was very close in 2 of them. When I was in my chute, in my where we sleep. But it was like a Connex. Well, not a Connex. It's like a big trailer, and you have like 30 people in those trailers sleeping, and we have to pretty much every time you hear the alarm, just leave your room. We used to sleep on PT shorts, and then go to a bunker nearby. But yeah, 2 of them were very, very close. That we feel the heat of the explosion inside of the room. So that's tough. Yeah.
Did you talk to your wife and family different when you were there?
I think my wife told me that there was something that she said to me is that there's a Ricardo before the Army and a Ricardo after the Army and a Ricardo after he retires. So there's 3 different. To me, I'm still the same person.
Yeah.
But there were changes between the person that I was, the person that I became, and the person that I am now. And, between lessons learned, fortitude, resilience, and life lessons, it builds the character and give you that intestinal fortitude I mentioned. So, yeah, it's a combination. She's the one that sees it. I'm still thinking like, I'm the same guy. She's like, nah.
How do you feel about loss? Like, when you don't see death or hear death that's so close to you, we really don't pay attention to it. But
Right.
being as close as you were to it and involved with it, did it change how you thought about your own life?
Yeah. So, my third job in the military was I went to I got tired of dealing with transportation. It's a very tough job. It's a very tough job. So one of the things that I didn't enjoy was how much work you do for the amount of recognition that you receive. And I did my best for my soldiers when I was in transportation, but it wasn't enough. I think it wasn't enough. So most of them are either never got the chance to retire, or they left the military early, like the big majority. So I switched my job or my MOS to 25 Quebec, being a cybersecurity professional. And as I went to Fort Gordon, I went back to Fort Huachuca, Arizona, and then I deployed again to Afghanistan. I'm talking about loss. To circle back to that, I have 6 soldiers with me that we were attending or taking care of the Kandahar help desk. So anybody that went to Kandahar that needed an account to be on the network to communicate with anyone, we processed those things and we set up computers. We did a bunch of things over there. But I have my group of people, and one of those soldiers committed suicide. So I'm gonna put a picture. It's Robert J. Neer. That was on January 6th. So when he committed suicide, a month prior to that, I gave him an Article 15. It's a non-judicial. Well, not me. I recommended him for an Article 15. It's a non-judicial punishment. Captain Lawson issued the Article 15, and the reason for that was because he went to the DFAC and he left an M249 fully loaded at the DFAC, and he went back to the quarters, and then he didn't realize until the next day. And then the next day he's like, "Where's my weapon? We don't. This is your weapon. Where's your weapon?" So then we went to the MP station, and they have the weapon over there. So we have to recommend him for the Article 15. He received the Article 15. 15-day extra duty, 15-day restriction, 50-day forfeiture of pay. I remember all that. And things start changing on his character and the way that he saw life. And one day, out of the blue, they pulled me out of that help desk. I was being the ACIC all the time with my soldiers to be an instructor for a Security Plus course in Kandahar. So we have something called the Thunderbird University. It's just to provide people the opportunity to do some studies and get certifications while deployed, to make the place more enjoyable for the soldiers. So I started doing that, and then once a week I used to go see my soldiers. And then I did it for like 3 weeks. And then on the following week, Neer, he was smoking a cigarette next to our quarters. And I'm sleeping in my bunker, in my room with Sergeant Garcia, a couple of people in my room. And then PFC Law, another soldier, come running to my room, to the NCO room. It's like, hey, he shot himself. And I'm like, right away, put my pants on, my shorts, and I walk outside. It's dark at night. It's cold. It's a horrible day in January 6th. It was cold. That's all I can remember from that day. Well, not just that, but it was cold. And I went outside, and I see there's a body on the floor. The head is blown up, and I'm like, the heck's going on here? So I told everybody, hey, back up. I was a senior NCO at that moment. Everybody back up, don't touch anything. Don't let anybody pass on that side. And on the other side, don't let nobody come through. I'm the only person here. I assume responsibility of the scene. And then, but I didn't know who it was. But then as I was leaving, I grabbed his hand because the arm was on the weapon, on the M16. He had an M16 because we took off the M249, for the issue.
Right.
And I saw the tattoos on the hand. I was like, oh, fuck, it's near. And then I knew who it was. I keep it to myself until the MPs got there. And then when the MPs got there, I told them who it was. I told my platoon sergeant, and then, it was tough. So how do I see loss? So since that moment, I've been having a funny reaction to loss. And it's I compensate or not compensate, I would say I deal with it by smiling. Whatever reason.
Smiling?
Smiling, yeah. Every time that somebody tells me somebody died, I kind of start smiling. It's like my body trying to counteract with something totally opposite to what I should be feeling, which should be sadness or depression or, I don't know, sobbing, whatever, with, smiling. And I didn't realize it until people be like, why are you smiling? I'm like, smiling? I'm not smiling. Yeah, you're smiling. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, man. In situations that happen after the fact. Until the other day when I was at the office, we have I have a coworker that died of colon cancer. I have I messaged with him on Friday, and sent him a message. Hey, everything good? Yeah, everything is good. I'm having a rough weekend. That's the answer I got. And Monday when I got over there, my manager called me, Ricky, and it's like, hey, just want to tell you that that Keith is not gonna be here. He passed away on over the weekend. And again, I catch myself going to and then I was like, then I say to Ricky, hey, I'm sorry. That's how I deal with, it's a reaction. I explained to him because it would be rude not to, he doesn't know me, he's just a manager that you have.
Right.
So I explained to him, it's like, okay, I understand. But yeah, so loss is one of those things that affects people very different. And I have experienced loss, and I think that I don't have the same take of. I think I'm not tougher than anyone, but I will say that I've been able to overcome loss faster because I don't have nobody to fail. I don't have like a fail safe. Of course, you got your savings and you got your things, but if everything goes bad with me, there's nobody who's gonna pick it up and take the reins. So yeah. So
completely understand that. Yeah, and it's like the death and grief is so strong. I think a lot of people instantly think, I can't go on either. But they do. Mm-hmm. And everybody has to have that trigger or mechanism to deal with it differently in their own way to get past it and be able to continue on with their life, So it's tough. So a lot of death in your military days, too.
Wow, yeah, too much.
Close to it.
You see, me smiling. Yeah. You see, it's the same thing, yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. So how long were you in the military?
I spent 18 years.
18 years?
18 years. I spent 18 years, everything combined from when I started till I finished. And it was more of a journey that I took.
What made you decide to get out?
So the Army had, wait a second, it was 18? It was 17. It was either 17 or 18. So the Army has something called TERA, Temporary Early Retirement Program. And they say to me, hey, I was a sergeant first class by then. I hit every rank on the secondary zone, like ahead of peers. And they say to me, or not just to me, they say to everybody in the military, if you fit this category, so many years, if you got more than 15, you can retire right now. We'll give you full retirement. And then the sergeant major of my branch sergeant major, it says, well, I see that you have all these certs. I would like to put you for the EA. I don't want you to retire. I don't want you to take that Terra, because this is big HRC telling the military, hey, I don't want you to do this. I was like, how long it will take me to get promoted? Well, you got to go to the school, and then you got to get to the sequence, probably like 2 years. And I'm like, okay.
Not today, right?
And then what after that? Well, E9, I'm gonna be here by then, because his term was like 4 years. By then, I was still here. We will get you your E9 on the secondary zone. I just need you to stay, because I need you to run. I was in a position of very high responsibility, and they needed me. But when at the end of the day, I mean, there were more people that can do my job, and I have to look after myself and my family. And I was like, nope. I set up myself for, I need to look out after my kids and my wife. I will teach the next person to do my job.
Right.
And then I spent a year doing that. I took Terra, and then I was able to retire.
So going to school during that 18 years?
Yeah.
So you got 2 degrees. When you got out of the service, did you already have those degrees?
When I was in the military, I got 1 degree with Excelsior College in cybersecurity. And then after the military, I used my Chapter 35, and then which is your VRNE, vocational rehab. And then I got my MBA.
Nice. So what was it like going to school during being in the military?
It was
a lot
easy.
of hours?
Yeah,
Did you do online, or did you go to campus?
Online, everything online.
Course.
When I first applied at Excelsior, I had a like 40 credits given to me just because of my military training, and because I have 3 MOSs.
Oh yeah.
So that's what gave me so much, and I was able to finish like in a year. And then after that, I just went to military schools. I did the ComSec school, ComSec instructor, ComSec inspector. That was the role that people wanted me to keep me there. Then after that, I was like, nah, I got a Security Plus, Systems, CSSP. I was like, no, I'm ready to make some money for my family,
Yeah.
So